if the original point was to try and get Putin to Alaska, and that's happened, but he's not really anywhere close to ending this war, so then the whole idea of using India as leverage, that the rationale of it goes away because he's not ending the war anyway. He's not being cooperative.
No. Well, we don't know. We don't know. We do know that India has reduced dramatically its purchases of Russian oil. We know that because China is picking up the slack. All right? So we do know that. Is it possible that China, that the strategy of tariffing India or additional tariffs on India because of this doesn't work? Totally. Absolutely. If China picks up the slack of the oil that India was purchasing, then you're right. It's been a zero-sum game, and you're back to square one. In that case, you're right. Then the US has the difficult choice: are you going to do secondary sanctions on China? If you want that oil to be part of your arsenal of weapons, then yes, you are going to be forced to saying, we tried it with India, it didn't work. Now we need to try it with China, because China frustrated our attempts with India by picking up the slack of the purchases. If China wasn't buying more, then this strategy might be working. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I can well see a scenario where the US president does have to make that separate and difficult choice to secondary sanction China.
If you were to leave the secondary sanctions issue aside, do you believe that a trade deal between India and the United States is still possible?
Oh, of course it is. Absolutely. You're dealing with a transactional president. I think what I would say is that, don't for a second, look, in fact, funny enough, I just happen to have the papers, pure luck, next to my desk here. So you've got countries and territories, reciprocal tariff adjusted. And here's all the list. And there's India with its 25%. Now, India's best hope is to get it down to the 15% of others. It's not probably going to get it down to 10%. It might be lucky and get it down. So you're looking at the EU sort of levels at best. And then you're going to be looking at the framework agreement, which, funny enough, again, I just happen to have in my desk. Yeah, you're going to be looking at the framework agreement that they did with the EU and the US, and be asking, what is it we can give? If you look at the EU framework agreement, it was this line about the EU agreeing to remove all industrial tariffs and open market access, or increase open market access for agricultural products, dairy, bison, seafood, lobster, and all of that sort of thing. Now, we already had the Indian Prime Minister saying, look, basically, I know what needs to be done. I'm going to take pain for it because I'm not going to do it because I've got my own domestic constituency. Well, that's his choice. Don't expect to get a zero tariff. If you're lucky, you'll get a 15% tariff. But India needs to ask, what are we going to give Mr. Trump in return for that? It's a transaction. It's a deal.
All right, Richard Quest, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, CNN business anchor Richard Quest there, with his unique take on what's been going on with Trump and the oil tariffs and India sort of getting caught in the crossfire. He reckons that those tariffs will kick in most likely next week, the 27th, the middle of next week, unless something dramatic really happens. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we have to.